Baisley with the rip. Dean Larry, you got to load that one up. Hey.
Oh, got a little wink action there.
Hey.
And set. Good! The Warriors in the state final!
From the Viking Village on the campus of Princeton High School in Sharonville, Ohio, ICRC-TV Sports, pleased to present High School Hoops. Today it's a Greater Miami Conference matchup with the Fairfield Indians making the trip down to Chester Road to take on the Princeton Vikings. Hello everyone, I'm Glenn Olson with my partner Frank Edwards. Frank, Princeton comes into this game undefeated. Fairfield comes into this game with a big win over perennial power Lakota West early in the season. It's making for a great matchup here today.
Right, this is definitely what you're in for if you're a fan, and if you're in for high school basketball. With these two GMC powers, especially this year, they're both wanting to taking the championship and try to have a big run in the tournament. And Princeton's having a great start right now with having a premier type player, especially being an underclassman.
Yeah, and that is number 34, Kyla Oldacre. She's listed at 6'5", freshman senior, currently leads the GMC in field goal percentage, second in rebounds, and first in blocks. Quite the talent for just a freshman.
That's amazing. It's so funny. It seems like deja vu just on the boys' side. Last year we had Baisley, and we've seen him grow each year since we've been doing our broadcasts, and now we might see another one on the other side for the females.
So we are excited to bring you this action. There you see the Fairfield Indians. They come in with a 7-3 overall record, 4-2 in the league. As we mentioned, a big win over Lakota West back in the early part of the season, 53-48, making for a topsy-turvy outlook in the GMC so far. Mason with the loss already, but Princeton on top at 5-0, 10-0 overall, and ranked number 9 in the state according to Max Preps.
Right, and that's, when you've not been beat yet, you get a big target on your back, so all these teams are going to want to come, especially in the GMC, because anyone can beat anybody on a given night on any sport. So I'm interested to see this very first couple minutes to see what type of momentum or what type of effort they put in, because usually the team that comes out wanting more usually takes the ball game, especially in these early type 2 o'clock ball games.
Yeah, Jill Phillips, of course, at the helm of Princeton. She's in her 4th year back with the Vikings after spending 2 years at Lakota East. Of course, she delivered a state championship here to Princeton in the 2013-2014 season with this girls team. And obviously, 4 years back in, she's got her stamp firmly on this program, and you can see it with that 10-0 and 5-0 record. And
such a bright future, too. So when you have a phenom 6'5" freshman, it's just going to make it even the cake so much sweeter.
So Oldacre's going to take the tip for the Vikings. Tori Williams for the Indians. Fairfield does control the opening tip. We're underway. Princeton in a 2-3 zone. Fairfield working the ball around in the perimeter.
A tentative 2-3 zone, and that's what all it's going to take to beat this is three-pointers, as I was saying it, and also dribble penetration. Nice shot outside there.
Kayla Somerville, the 5'7" senior guard, came into this game averaging 3.1. She's almost at her average now with that three-pointer from the left side. Princeton now controlling things on offense down in their end of the half court. Three-pointer is going to be put up by Willow White. It's no good. And a whistle underneath. We'll see what our officials saw.
I believe on number 30, I believe.
Kyla Oldacre is going to go to the line. The foul's called on Tori Williams. That's her first. Oldacre will shoot 2. And Frank had an interesting stat on her free throw shooting percentage.
Yeah, she's coming in. If there's anything that she's worked on, early on, she's doing so many things doing good is her free throws. She's coming in 9 for now 26. So that's something that teams down the road that's going to scout Princeton, that's something they're going to eye on to try to stop her.
Oldacre misses both of them off the back iron just a little bit too hard. Fairfield still leads 3-0. Now Princeton's going to show a little press action against the Indians. Fairfield struggling a little bit to beat it, but it looks like they're going to get their offense set up in the half court. The Vikings will fall back into that 2-3 zone defense.
Yeah, it's a high 2-3 too, so we'll see how long this lasts if they hit a couple big buckets.
And there is a three-pointer is going to come up from the left side. It's off the back iron, no good. Struggle for control underneath. Tori Williams comes up with it and is going to be called for a travel. She tries to kick it back out.
One thing Princeton's got to do a good job, especially on playing a zone defense, is they've got to box out. It makes it easier for that, make an offensive rebound. As you see in there, just a tough little turnover for Fairfield.
Darian Braddock brings the ball down for the Vikings, who trail by 3, 6:40 remaining in the first quarter. Fairfield being very aggressive on defense, being very physical with Oldacre in the paint.
You know,
she's going to have a body on her all night.
Right, and you know, it's funny, if I did seen her just coming here to watch the game, I would have never think she's a freshman. She does not have a freshman body, doesn't even look like a freshman.
Oldacre got the stick back, but the shot wouldn't fall. Fairfield comes up with it. They move the ball quickly down the floor, and that's going to be a foul on the Vikings. Should go on Ashley Davis.
Like I said, these first few minutes are so important, you know, just to get the tempo type of game we're going to get to see today.
I believe they called that on Davis. I missed the call. We don't have it up
inside
on the scoreboard. So here come the Vikings quickly back down the floor, and again, that Fairfield defense, it's going to be Khalees Jones whistled on that one.
Sorry, Glenn. Kayla does come in leading with 3.9 blocks per game, and she just had a block last series.
Vikings get the ball right in front of the Indians bench. They inbound it without any issue and get their offense to motion. A shot comes up from the right side, and that's a three-pointer for number 24, Ashley Davis.
Nice shot, leading scorer right now for Princeton.
Averaging 14.4. Fairfield's really doing a good job of getting the ball down in their offensive half court. There's a quick three-pointer that's going to go up and good for Z Bailey. Zaria Bailey gets her first 3 points of the game.
Both teams
6-3.
Came out shooting on fire right now with confidence at that.
Yes, for sure. Game from the perimeter, not a whole lot happening in the paint underneath. Very physical defense being exhibited by both teams. There's another perimeter shot's going to go up. It's off the mark. Rebound, stick back underneath, won't go. Struggle for control on the floor. Fairfield comes up with it before the referee has a chance to call a jump ball, and that's going to be another foul on the Vikings. Okay, so it's Darian Braddock. She picks up number 2. We'll scrap the earlier foul on Ashley Davis. There you take a look on replay. The last offensive possession by the Vikings. See, trying to get that offense in motion. Shot comes up from the perimeter.
That was that good shot they had the last series.
Good for 3. Fairfields again. Up from the perimeter, no good. Oldacre uses her height to come up with the ball. Vikings quickly back down the floor. It's a 2-on-2. Off-balance shot goes in for Willow White. She comes in averaging just under 8 points a game, 6-5 Fairfield, approaching the 4:30 mark of the opening quarter.
Now it looks like they've dropped into a man defense. They've showed us a couple defenses early on this first quarter, Princeton has. So they're going to switch it up and get everyone on the same page here. Fairfield is.
Well, that's the vulnerability. That zone defense is the perimeter shot, and Fairfield was making Princeton pay. There's a nice move inside, and the shot will fall for Shania Reese. She comes in averaging 4.5 a game, 8-5. Indians out in front.
Both teams are both shooting very well so far early on this first quarter.
Good ball movement by the Vikings despite the physical defense. There's a drive in from the left elbow.
No help side defense. Someone's got to make sure they stop ball. That's number 1 rule on defense. Stop ball. There's a turnover. And a foul. Little turn of events there. Just a couple turnovers and being sloppy with the ball. And next thing you know, Princeton's about to take the lead if they're
8-7.
They make the free
3:36
throws.
remaining in the opening quarter. Going to the free throw line. It's number 21, Willow White. White's first shot is good. All right, let's go back and take a look at it on replay while White is shooting the free throws. There you can see the steal. Drive in by Willow. Basket was good. 8-8.
Did they get Looks like the ball's off of Fairfield, too.
Yep, Fairfield with a mistake underneath, giving the Vikings another offensive possession underneath their own basket. Getting close to a 5-second call, but not bad. Ball is recovered by Ashley Davis. She's going to drive in and take one just inside the 3-point line. It's off the mark to the left. Ashley recovers a loose ball. Is trying to feed it underneath, and it's going to sail out of bounds.
Got a little sloppy here this last minute and a half on both sides of the ball. Now we're going to press right now. Looks like a 1-2-2 press shown, or a diamond. We'll see if they follow the cutter.
See how Fairfield's able to break that. It's going to be a little bit of a push-off, I believe, on Z. Bailey.
You'll see most coaches do that, disguise their zone defenses or full court presses.
Fairfield comes up with the ball after the foul right in front of the Vikings bench. They'll set their half-court offense. Approaching 3:15 to go in the opening quarter. All tied up at 8. Nice feed inside. Kick back out on the right side. Three-pointer goes up, in and out. Off Fairfield underneath. It'll be Vikings ball.
Looks like that's what I was thinking. I saw it from the other side. I bet you they'll. Oh, he let him call it. I'm surprised.
Addie Kidd's going to come into the game for the Indians. 3:06 in the first quarter. Jordania Ivy brings the ball down for the Vikings. Loose defense being applied. Now Fairfield will ratchet it up. Drive in by Willow White. Shot goes up off the mark. Controlled underneath by Fairfield. Quickly back down. Going to kick it out to the right side. They were trying to get it out to Kidd. Pass was a bit off the mark. Kidd stumbled under her own feet a little bit there. It's a turnover. Vikings ball underneath Fairfield's basket on the side.
Both teams are playing really even, and the score is dictating that too right now because they both probably have the same amount of turnovers.
Well, the GMC holding true to its black and blue reputation. Aggressive defense, very physical defense being exhibited by both teams. What you would expect from league leaders such as these two squads. Nice head fake and a drive into the basket, but it won't fall for Heinzman. Fairfield comes up with it, but there's a steal by Willow White. White's going to go 1-on-2 and gets the fall. Willow White having a heck of a game so far. She came in averaging 8 points, and she's almost there.
With those high side kisses, too. It's a tough shot. Nice cut.
Nice dish off the Kidd underneath. Shot won't fall. Oldacre comes up with it. Very strong rebound. They're going to move it down the floor quickly. Willow White tried to go up with it. The ball was tipped away by, I believe that was Tori Williams. Actually, that was 33, Khalees Jones. Princeton ball underneath their own basket. They're able to get the ball in. Now trapped down in the corner is Ivy. Ivy's going to dribble into the three-point area. They're going to feed it to Oldacre inside. And the ball is tipped away. Let's go back and take a look at that last sequence, starting with the steal.
Yeah, she just got to have herself and, like a DB, picked it off.
We saw Willow White coming down to the basket. Shot was good. Oldacre was trying to feed underneath to Davis. Ball's deflected. Fairfield with another turnover on Princeton.
Both of them have had many turnovers, but still they're both playing really hard and well. I've seen everything in this first quarter, put it that way. Nice floater.
Nice jump stop there by Zaria Bailey. Give her 5 in the game unofficially now. It's 10-10. Oldacre tries to go over the shoulder, no good. Fairfield controls it. Need their offense to catch up with the ball handlers through the Indians. Looking to get something started here. Slow down momentum a little bit. Kidd nearly gets trapped on the right side. There's a head fake and a drive in by Mills. She kicks it up top. Mills from the right side. Off the mark. Rebounded by Ivy.
Nice
Ivy's going to feed it down to Davis. Davis is going to go to the basket strong. The shot won't fall. Kid comes up with the ball, and here come the Indians fast and furious. Kid with the ball over on the left side. Hands it off to Black. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound underneath. Maybe could have been a travel.
2 blocks in a row.
Spin move by Lexi Yarborough. It won't go.
Kyler's already got her blocks per game already.
Sorry, a Black deflects one. Indians bring it down quickly. That's Bailey. Passing over to Mills. Mills going to hold things up a little bit. They're against the clock. Fairfield not able to get a shot off. So at the end of the first quarter, it's Princeton 10, Fairfield 10. We're going to step away for a quick break, and we'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
To see the numbers on the floor. Welcome back to the second quarter. Sorry about that. Caught Frankie and I trying to catch up on a couple things during the quarter break here. It's 10-10. Princeton out and Fairfield tied. Almost had Princeton out in front, trying to predict the finish here. Princeton, of course, one of our ICRC communities. Alternating possession. Princeton will get the first offensive try of the second quarter.
Fairfield should feel good right now. I'm saying Princeton has not been beat yet. In that first quarter, they played very well, and we'll see what they do in this second quarter.
Fairfield with a very good win over Lakota West, as we've touched on a couple times. A couple losses, a little bit head-scratchers on paper anyway, but playing an undefeated Princeton squad very tough here in the first half. There's a drive in, and it won't fall for Willow White. Fairfield kicks it out quickly. They do get the ball down quick when they're on offense in transition, Frank.
And the turnover. It's Achilles' heel so far here for Fairfield. They would have a little bit of a lead if they didn't have some of these costly turnovers, but that's just part of the game.
Yep. Fairfield's playing very fast, and with that is coming some mistakes, no doubt. Princeton back down in their offensive half court now in the opening seconds of the second quarter, all tied at 10. Feed up top.
Nice.
Ultimately, it's going to go underneath to Ashley Thomas.
That's how you seal. That was a perfect seal underneath by number 20.
12-10 Princeton. The 2-point lead for the moment. Fairfield's going to slow things down a little bit on offense. Try to cut down on some of those turnovers just inside the three-point line. His kid, her shot won't fall. Ivy comes up with it for Princeton. Kicks it down to Davis. Struggle for control. Ivy's able to come up with it. There's a timeout taken by Princeton.
I don't know how she was able to save her dribble as she was falling, but athletic play to save it.
Jill Phillips elects to burn that early timeout rather than lose possession in this 2-point game.
Right.
Just a minute and 11 seconds into the second quarter.
That's one thing I'm sensing right now. Fairfield needs to be careful, because I can see how Princeton gets in big runs and spurts from me just seeing how they've played this first quarter. If they're not careful, they can get a 10-point lead like that. So we'll see how they come out of this timeout. It was almost like a Fairfield timeout, but Princeton called it. We'll see what they do here in these next few minutes, because I can see what Princeton can do to why they're undefeated right now. Their strengths anyway.
So back after the timeout, Princeton ball, of course, since they called the timeout. They'll get their offense to work. No Oldacre on the floor for the moment for the Vikings. Electing to work that perimeter game, but they're going to feed inside. Shot won't fall. Attempted a rebound underneath by Cash. She can't come up with it. Fairfield works the ball down quickly. Down to Lexi Yarborough in the corner, and they pass it back around the perimeter.
I'm not sure if it's the same numbers it was in for the beginning for Fairfield, but it's not as fluid. There's someone missing that's key to their team that I can't put my finger on who it is, but hopefully she's not in foul trouble because they're just the fluid, how they were playing that first quarter, it ain't there right now. I don't know if that's partly Princeton's defense has stepped up also.
Well, don't see Z Bailey on the floor at the moment, so that could be missing component you're talking about. Fairfield just not able to get the shot they're looking for. Kidd's going to go for it in the paint and count the bucket.
They were patient, and they got the shot they wanted and a foul.
Well, we'll catch up with fouls at halftime. Princeton stats crew had promised to get us a stat sheet. Just a hard time understanding our PA announcer from our broadcast location up here, unfortunately.
Oh, there's a turnover.
Nice steal underneath. Reese goes strong to the basket. She draws a foul. She'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
Nice little steal there. See if she can reward herself with a couple free throws.
First shot won't fall, right? A little holler from the crowd.
Yeah, that was...
Maybe knocked her off her game a little bit. Substitution for the Vikings coming into the game's Madison Rochelle, 5'9" sophomore guard. Pretty tall for a guard. One of the taller players on the floor right now with Oldacre out.
Right.
Second one will fall through for Reese. 13-12. There's that tough press. Princeton's going to have to come back to help.
Very physical.
They were able to get it off. Down to Heinzman. Heinzman's going to try to take care of business by herself. Her shot won't fall. Rebound underneath on the follow, and the basket is good. All right, Fairfield's going to work things around on their offense.
They're letting them play, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. Shot comes up from the left side. Will not fall down for Mills. Rebounded by Princeton. Quickly down the floor. They're going to feed White. White's shot won't go. Missed opportunities for both teams continue to abound in the paint, Frank.
Right.
Reese is going to slow things down. A lot of standing around by Fairfield. Not a lot of movement in this offense so far. Now they're going to move a little bit.
It's like neither team wants to take control of the game so far, you know, with it being...
Mills flashed across. Black comes up with it. Kidd right at the free throw line. Hands it back off to Mills. Mills drives in. Steps back. Shot won't fall. Rebound Kidd.
Wow.
Her shot won't fall. Rebounded underneath by Ashley Thomas.
So many missed bunnies by both teams early on.
Mass substitutions by Fairfield. Oldacre, the lone substitution for the Vikings. Princeton with the ball after the Fairfield foul. The foul situation is 5 for the Vikings, 4 for the Indians.
Tough pass.
Trying to get it to Thomas.
Oh, that's over and back. Did the old circle and went over back. It's tough turnover, gosh. After a great defensive play, just to give it right back to him.
Mills is going to come out, and Maya comes in. Correction, that's Kaylee Somerville comes in for Fairfield. Oldacre from 15 feet,
nice
feeds
play.
it inside. Shot won't fall off the glass for Ashley Thomas. Fairfield rebounds, brings it back down.
That was a nice draw play with a triangle with the two bigs on the right side. If they can get that perfected, that's going to be tough to stop.
Shot won't fall for Fairfield underneath by Williams. Fairfield manages to hang on to possession, and now we're going to get a foul, I believe, on Madison Rochelle.
Might be one of the wildest shots I've ever seen. She almost turned all the way around.
It's going to be on Oldacre. 16 foul. Nice shot of the free throw shooter by our crew here today, led by Josh Semstrot in the truck, calling all the action here. Appreciate you tuning in to High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports. Undefeated Princeton trying to hang on against Fairfield in the first half. Free throw will not fall for Williams. Rebounded by Oldacre. Princeton sets their offense. So they're keeping Oldacre high and letting Ashley Thomas, junior forward, try to take care of things on the glass. Tipped out of bounds by the Indians. It's Vikings ball. 3:19 to go in the first half.
Nice
There's
play.
a feed inside, and that one is going to fall through for Madison Rochelle.
A little too easy. But that's how Coach drew it up, and it worked perfect.
Sometimes those plays work, the coaches draw up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
16-13, Vikings out in front, 3:15. Shot from the right side, will not fall for Somerville, rebounded by the Vikings. Quick drive down the floor by White. She's going to slow things up a little bit, let the offense get to work. Trying to feed it inside to Coldacre,
Good help side.
who was being closely guarded. Fairfield comes up with the ball. Fairfield down, dish off. Shot comes up from the right side. That's a three-pointer. It's going to fall through for Khalees Jones. The assist to Z. Bailey.
Oh, that's a legal screen, I would think, but no.
Drive by Willow White. She's fouled. Let's go back and look at the
bank's open on
three-pointer.
Saturday. Number 34 did a great job. That continuous to that play, doing backside help, and
Yep, Z. Bailey got the shot to fall. So Willow White at the free throw line down on the other end. First shot is good. Substitution for the Indians, Zaria Black into the game, taking the place of Khalees Jones. 17-16, 2:39 to go. Both free throws are good for Willow White. Vikings back out in front by 2, Frank.
yep, it's like I said, no team wants to take a big lead right here. They're both playing hard.
Trying to pass it down into the corner to Somerville. It's off her hands, goes out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball right in front of their own bench. There you see Coach Jill Phillips. Quite the program she's built here, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Messy situation down there. The ball is going to stay with Princeton.
Nice hustle.
Feeding it in from out of bounds to Willow White, to Rochelle. Down in the corner to Thomas. Deflected by Fairfield. It'll stay with Vikings down near midcourt. Just inside the midcourt line in Fairfield's offensive half. They're going to put some pressure on it. There's a quick steal and a drive to the basket and an easy bucket for Z. Bailey.
That was a late Christmas present right there.
Yeah. Zaria Bailey is committed to Wilmington College. She's staying close to home to play her college ball. 3-ball goes up from the left side, will not fall through for Rochelle. Reese able to come up with things after a little bit of a sloppy exchange there by the Indians. Approaching 1:35 to go. Fairfield being a little more aggressive on defense.
Ooh, block.
Oldacre with the block of Bailey. Bailey somehow comes up with the ball, feeds it outside to Somerville, who nails another 3.
I tell you, she's not had about 7 blocks in this first half.
Trying to feed it inside to Oldacre, and it's kicked out of bounds. Let's go back and look at the next one. There's the block. Comes up with it, kicks it back out to Somerville.
Big shot by 34.
The three-pointer's good. Princeton ball underneath their own basket. 1:17 to go.
And I believe that's the biggest lead of the night for
3 points
Fairfield.
for Fairfield.
Either team, like I said, hasn't. It's been a tightly matchup so far.
Willow White able to hang on. Off-balance shot will not go. Fairfield controls it underneath the Vikings basket. 1 minute to go now in the second quarter.
Really efficient first half, too, letting them both play.
Yeah.
You know, it's been
11 fouls combined, 6 for Princeton, 5 for
and
Fairfield.
it's been physical.
But it's been a very physical game. As you see right there, drive in. Kaylee Somerville with a big basket. Her first points of the game. It didn't come from the three-point line. There's an off-balance shot by Heinzman. That won't go, and a foul underneath. Great work by our cameraman.
It's 5 straight points. See this reverse here underneath the basket. Number 34 has got the last 5 points for Fairfield.
Great work. Heinzman at the free throw line. First shot on the way is good. Substitution for the Vikings. Ashley Davis into the game from Madison Rochelle.
Interested to see the free throw numbers here.
Yep.
At half.
Heinzman's second shot off the back iron, no good. Tipped away by Black, who ultimately pulls the ball in. She'll hand it off to Reese. He'll bring it down to set up the offense. Fairfield going to be aggressive with the half-court press up high. Fairfield able to break through it. Quick shot goes off the left side, no good. Thomas comes up with it. Now they're going to feed it down, long way down the court. Fairfield able to catch up with it. We may have a jump ball, and indeed there it is.
Just both hustling.
Addie Kidd's going to check into the game for Fairfield.
I like that defense Princeton showed right there. That little half-court trap made them get a quick shot off. We'll see what they do here. Might be content with what their deficit is right now with 5 seconds to go until halftime.
Gonna have to get a shot off quickly here. 2 seconds. There it is, last second at the buzzer, and it will not fall for Shania Reese. Your score at the end of the first half, it's Fairfield 23, Princeton 19. Fairfield won that quarter 13-9. We'll be back with an update on the stat sheet and the second half. Just a moment, you're watching High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. And I appreciated it very much, the attention that was given. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
If I play sports for my school, I'll learn how to be part of a team.
I will have more friends. I will be active now and when I'm a grown-up.
I will learn how to work hard.
I'll have better attendance.
I'll learn how to overcome adversity. I'll be more likely to go to college. I will learn how to get along with others. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school.
I must learn to be a good student during school if I want to put on my uniform after school.
Welcome back for the second half. High School Hoops, ICRC-TV Sports. Glenn Olson, Frank Edwards with you from our broadcast position. Josh Simsrod in the truck. Josh, not a great shooting performance by either team in the first half. Fairfield shot 33%. Princeton just 28 from the field. Leading scorer for the Indians, Z. Bailey with 7. Kayla Somerville with 8. For the Vikings, it's Willow White with 9. Really no major foul issues. We'll catch you up on that as the game progresses. Willow White with 2 for Princeton. Ashley Davis with 3.
They're trying to force it into her now. As you know, she's been averaging, I believe, 12 or 13 points a game, that freshman, but you know, if it's not there, you can't force it. You know,
right.
You're going to have to find a different way to manufacture points.
And they're playing very physical with her
right
in the paint. Anytime the ball's coming at her, she's got bodies all over her.
They're doing a great job of playing in front of her in a backside defense.
Shot comes up from beyond the arc is no good. Up near the top for Shania Reese. Just got a plug from our PA announcer. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate you tuning in to High School Hoops. 23-19, the opening minute of the third quarter. There's a drive to the basket, and the shot will fall for Willow White. 11 points in the game for Willow. Definitely the offensive MVP thus far.
Right. She's put, you know, sometimes you've got to put it on your shoulders. Coaches love to see that, you know, when a different player is the star of the, you know, game, different games.
Reese passes it over to Bailey, who's going to kick it back up top to Khalees Jones. Bailey ends up with it back up top. Good ball movement by the Indians.
Turnover.
And an inadvertent turnover by Somerville. Somerville's had a good game, 8 points, 2 3-pointers, and another basket. As we said, she came into the game averaging 3 points, but a turnover there. Vikings ball. Willow White is going to dribble back up top, dish it off to the right side.
Oh, wow.
The offense continues to look for an opening. That was Ashley Davis. Back to Braddocks.
That screen and rolls open here if they go to it. Wasn't there, but a few times they got to set that up because they can get a mismatch underneath.
I think everybody's touched the ball in this possession so far but Oldacre. As Princeton tries to look for a crack to penetrate, get a good shot. There's a drive to the basket. Braddocks is hit. As she entered the lane, her shot was short, rebounded by Fairfield.
Good defense.
6 minutes now.
Good defense.
Fairfield, of course, coached by Dave Loper. He's been the head coach since the 2011-2012 season. He was previously at Ursuline, where he turned that program around before making the move over to Fairfield several years ago.
Big rebound.
It's going to be 3 on Braddocks.
Wow.
She's been pretty instrumental in this game. They don't want to lose her.
Right. I'm surprised they haven't got someone in the sub right now because you don't want to pick up the fourth right now.
Fairfield's going to slow things down, try to let this offense develop. They're spread out well on the floor. Princeton reacting well, trying to find trap situations where they can. And it worked there. Oldacre's going to dish it off. That time Braddock's couldn't quite hang on, tried to kick it back. It's a Princeton turnover.
Right after, a big long three, nailed.
Three-pointer for Khalees Jones. She has 6 points in the game, both coming off three-pointers. 26-21 Indians, under 4:50 to go in the third quarter. Princeton continues to move that ball around up top. They find Oldacre underneath. She's going to kick it back outside to Braddock. Braddock drops a three.
Big shot there.
It's her first 3 points of the game. Pulls the Vikings back to within two, 26-24, under 4:30 to go.
Big basket, real big basket.
Kind of just felt like Princeton needed to answer there.
Right.
Try to keep this one close.
Not saying they can't come back, but it just in the Fairfield's favor of giving them, the strength of saying they can win this game.
We'd rather be down by 2 than down by 5, right?
You can see here, just kicks it out and really no pressure, just an easy three-pointer.
Heinzman picks up her first foul of the game. Tried to give her 2. You can see the replay. Here are the last 2 three-point shots.
Nice quick shot underneath the basket.
Princeton back down in their offensive half court. Now there's a drive to the basket. Great move underneath that time by Madison Rochelle. 4 points in the game now. 28-26, approaching 3:40.
Starting to see some of the other Princeton players understanding that they're going to have to manufacture points in different spots right now.
Yeah, can't rely on Coldacre to get it all done on the glass. They're going to have to do some other things, which so far in the second half they've been successful in doing, penetrating through this tough Fairfield defense.
Right, because she's also growing as the minute goes. This is her first varsity experience ever, so she's going to learn as the games go on.
Everything falling the Vikings' way now. Rochelle with an off-balance shot. It thought about rimming out and followed through. We're tied at 28, under 3:10 in the third quarter. Offensive adjustments paying dividends for the Vikings here in the early moments. Feed underneath, and there's where Oldacre comes in and tips it away. They were trying to get it to Reese. Now again a struggle for control. Oldacre turns it over. Drive into the basket, try to kick it out. A little bit of a sloppy exchange there. Fairfield maintains possession. Reese with the ball, trying to get reoriented, get the offense going. There's a feed down in the corner to Somerville. Somerville's going to kick it back up top to Z. Bailey.
You can see how Oldtree, just even the presence underneath is causing hard shots, misdirected shots underneath the basket.
Reese is going to drive in. It's going to be partially deflected by Heinzman underneath. Vikings come up with the ball. Quickly back down the floor. Nice little bounce pass over there to Ashley Davis. Results in a foul being called on Fairfield.
Be ready for a timeout here if these 2 free throws go in.
I believe they called that on Williams, but she doesn't seem to be coming out of the game. That would be her third, if that was her. Mass substitutions now for the Indians, and Williams will come out with those 3 fouls. So Ashley Davis's first free throw is good. Number 2 is on the way, Frank.
Yeah, rattled at home.
Second one will not fall. 29-28 Vikings approaching the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. Fairfield moving the ball well down on their offensive end. Shot comes up from the left side, will not fall. Rebounded by Oldacre. Princeton back down the floor quickly to a wide open Jacqueline Heinzman.
Surprised there's no timeout there. They've been on a big run.
31-28, Princeton out in front. Under 140 now in the third quarter. Three-pointer goes up from the left side, off the back iron for Bailey. Fairfield comes up with the ball underneath. Mills is going to drive in and then kick it back out. Reese is going to do the same. Nice little bounce pass around the side of the Princeton defender. And the shot falls through for the Indians, who pull back to within 1. It was Lexi Yarborough with that basket. came in averaging 1.7. She has 2 now. Go back and take a look at a replay in the last shot.
You can hear this. Just it's really that's not the shot, but look, the pass wrap around here. Just gets it in, makes it look easy.
Thought of a long 3, crossed the Vikings' minds. They pull up and elect to take it inside the paint. Count the basket for Rochelle, and she's going to get the foul as well. Going to take a look at the replay here on the drive by Rochelle and the foul. Here you see the pass coming from the free throw line. She drives in. It looks like she was hit from behind by Zaria Black. Free throw will not fall. Struggle for control underneath. It's saved in bounds by Heinzman. Now we're going to get a jump ball on the floor. It'll be Fairfield ball.
Good hustle there by Princeton.
1 minute exactly on the scoreboard. 33-30. Princeton out in front here in the third quarter.
And at one point, Fairfield had a 4 or 5 point lead in this quarter.
Z. Bailey's going to bring it down for the Indians. Passes over to Mills. Mills trying to find somebody to pass to. She's being closely guarded. She's able to dish it off. Fairfield being forced to work up high with Bailey. Bailey's going to drive inside the three-point line. Pass it off to Z. Black. Z. Black was trying to pass it away. Throws it away instead. It's a turnover. Vikings possession, 34 seconds remaining.
I'm going to say it's been about a 9-2 run here for Princeton, maybe even bigger.
Halftime adjustments paying dividends for the Vikings. There's an unfortunate turnover for Ashley Davis off her fingertips. Vikings ball right in front, or excuse me, Indians ball in front of the Vikings bench. Princeton's going to come out and guard aggressively as Bailey enters the offensive half court. Bailey trying to decide which way to go. She looked like she was going to go right. Now she'll dribble back, wait for some help. She gets the screen she was looking for by Somerville. And a foul. Actually, that was Lexi Yarborough, excuse me. Foul's called on Heinzman. That'll be number 3 for her. See some of the crowd on hand here. Young fan in the stands. Beautiful facility on the campus of Princeton High School. Great program, bringing some excitement to the GMC.
Both the boys and the
rebuilt
girls.
this program. A lot of hard work by players. Of course, that state title coming when Kelsey Mitchell, the McDonald's All-American, played here before going on to Ohio State and a pro career in the WNBA.
Another turnover.
Ball tipped out of bounds. The Princeton ball. Oldacre's going to check back in for the Vikings. It's going to come right in. Ball's going to come in right at the end of the scorers table. Ashley Davis trying to find someone to pass to. Long pass to Oldacre underneath. He goes to the basket and gets her first points of the game at the buzzer. At the end of the third quarter. Princeton 35.
Nice play underneath the basket.
Fairfield 30.
That was a nice play.
16-7 scoring advantage in that quarter for the Vikings over the Indians.
And Fairfield was up.
Let's go back here and take a look. You see the pass coming in from the inbounds.
Just a really tough
Davis.
pass.
Long pass to Oldacre. And look at the reaction coming on the bench after this shot from our camera underneath the Indians basket on the other end of the floor. Vikings were very excited. 35-30. 8 minutes left to settle this one in a tough GMC contest.
It was a big run there because Fairfield was up by about 4 or 5 with a couple minutes to go.
Up by 4 at the half. And then just didn't score a whole lot there in the third quarter.
Right. The game of runs. I'm just surprised there was no timeout called because it's been a big run here.
4 scoreboards here in the Viking Gymnasium. Every one of them have a buzzer on it. End of the third quarter, so getting ready to get things underway with the fourth quarter. 35-30. Princeton ball on alternating possession. Indian now pointing toward the arrows basket for the next jump ball situation should one occur. Z Black very aggressive on defense there, nearly forced a turnover. Vikings able to save it. Now we're going to get a foul.
Kind of surprised about that foul. Oh,
Foul's called on Z Bailey.
Just because they haven't called that a lot tonight. They've been letting them play hard.
4 fouls for the Indians, 3 for the Vikings. Only 1 timeout's been taken in the game by Princeton. Baseline drive. Worked very well for
Only
Jacqueline
1
Heinzman.
timeout. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. That's all it's been the whole game.
Yep.
Wow. That's surprising.
Fairfield needs to start chipping away the lead up to 7 for the Vikings. It's been an offensive drought for the Indians here in the second half.
Yes, it has, Glenn, for sure.
You know, they slowed things down and were very patient. It's not paid off for them. They were running a little bit quicker pace in the first half. Spin move denied by Oldacre underneath. Off to the races, Princeton Vikings. Madison
There's
Rochelle having herself a fine game.
That timeout should have been a long time ago, but you can always say that from the peanut gallery. But
yeah, Madison Rochelle unofficially 10 points in the game. She came in averaging 8.1.
Nice run for Princeton there. They just put the gas on, and before you know it, they're up by 9.
So what's Fairfield talking about during this timeout? I'm assuming they took a full, considering they're trailing by 9 now.
Multiple things, really. I mean, they need to stay aggressive for one, especially on the defensive end. That's why they were winning and up, and they've been kind of tentative. Also, you know, Ultra's kind of adjusted, and now that she got that first bucket, she's feeling more confident. You know, like we're saying, she's only a freshman, and she's just going to grow each game and get better.
The Vikings still in their huddle. The Indians back out on the court first, as you see from our shot up top.
And also saying they're not out of it. You know, they got the urgency of score. You know, they've been hitting big shots. They just got to stay aggressive.
39-30, 6:52 remaining. Fairfield takes their first time out of the game, just a minute, 8 seconds into the fourth quarter. As the Vikings continue on their torrid offensive pace, extended their lead to 9 points. Fairfield looking to stop the bleeding. They do seem to be moving at a little bit of a quicker pace on offense now, coming out of that timeout. Somerville with the ball, dishes it over to Bailey. Bailey looking for somewhere to go with it. She's going to start her dribble, reset the offense back up top. Fairfield.
Princeton's playing good defense too, but they also got to make sure they're staying moving.
Fairfield's going to have a hard time getting in the paint. Oldacre's doing a good job of denying much of happening down there. As you just saw, Z Bailey drives in. Ball sails out of bounds off of Princeton. It'll stay with Fairfield underneath their own basket. Still trailing by 9. Bringing the ball in with Somerville. She didn't have many places to go with it. It's tipped out of bounds.
She got bailed out there for sure.
Now Fairfield with a little better situation with the side out right in front of their own bench, but again nearly deflected. Somerville's hustling down for it. Princeton comes up with it. Still a struggle for control, and it'll stay with the Vikings as it was last off Somerville. Somerville was battling with Madison Rochelle for possession of the basketball. Substitution for the Indians.
You know what's so funny about this, going to throw it back to the football. The girls have actually, I'm saying the last third to fourth quarter, just like when they took boys Fairfield against Milford, kind of fell apart in the mid. I know it wasn't as big as drastic lead, but it seems like the end of the middle of that third quarter, Fairfield's got to.
Yeah. Felice Jones had checked in. The shot went up by Ashley Davis, would not fall. Indians regained possession, trailing by 9, under 5:50 to go now in the final quarter. Oldacre with nearly a steal. Bailey comes up with it. Somerville from the right side. Rainbow shot goes over the rim. Fairfield maintains possession. push from behind, but no whistle. Tori Williams tried to go up strong with it.
They've been stuck on that 30 forever, and I knew it was a 2-point field goal before that, and I can't remember the last basket.
Somerville brought it back in. It's been back and forth between her and Bailey. Bailey with the ball now up top on the right side. Tori Williams is going to handle things now. Drive in against Oldacre. Spin move. Wow. Gets the shot to fall.
Nice move.
I believe those Williams' first points of the game. 39-32 Vikings. 5:15 remaining in the contest. Willow White brings the ball down for the Vikings. Passes it over to Heinzman.
I can remember when you said it, Glenn. Remember that big three that Princeton had? And it was like that was a bucket they needed to have. It seems like ever since they had that three, they've been on a different team.
Oldacre on the follow. Gets her 4th points of the game. Leads back up to 9. Somerville with the board and loses control of it. Now we're going to have a foul. Foul's going to be on Heinzman. I believe that's number 4 on her. Addie Kidd checks in. 5'6" senior forward, averaging 3 points, 2 assists. Somerville, Kidd, Bailey. Back over to Somerville. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Ball fakes, goes to the right side, picks up her dribble, goes to Kidd underneath. Kidd's going to kick it across the lane and draw the foul.
Don't know how she got that pass in there, but it got through.
Free throw will not fall. .28 to go. 41-32 Fairfield. Second shot goes for Reese. 4 points unofficially in the game. The lead's down to 8. Fairfield showing a little bit of press. Princeton able to fight through it somewhat easily. There's a shot coming in from the right side. That is a big three-pointer for Willow White.
Huge three-pointer.
Now with 14 points in the game, lead is up to 11. Everything going the Vikings' way here in the second half.
She's still saying, this is my ball game. I want to be that shot like that. She'll definitely get it.
Ball tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Fairfield. Reese will handle the inbounding duty. She has Z. Bailey up top to pass it to, assuming Heinzman doesn't get there and tip it away. Three-pointer gets the lead down to 8. But a nice answer by the Vikings. Willow White continues to have an impressive game. I have her with 16 points. Somerville from the right side has lost her touch from the outside. There's a feed down to Rochelle.
Oh, wow.
In and out, rebounded underneath by Somerville. Checks the ball, passes it back over to Z. Bailey. Bailey crosses midcourt. Waits for the offense to get set. Trailing by 10. Clock starting to become an issue. I think that's going to be a foul on Oldacre, and it should be 3 shots, right?
I think you're right, Glenn.
Just the second foul in the game for Oldacre. It's going to send Tori Williams to the free throw line. Did you say 2?
Wow.
I guess they're saying she had a foot on the line. First shot on the way, a lot of high arc, bounced off the left side of the rim, no good. Very high arc.
If it is, I could have swore that was a 3.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. Guess we'll find out.
Nope.
She is indeed shooting 3. Substitution.
Not helping herself, though, not making these free throws.
Carly Mills checks in. They're free, you got to make them, right? As the old saying goes.
Especially when there's no clock going and you're down.
Need every point you can get, trailing by 10. Just left 2 on the rim there. Does convert the last one. 3 points in the game unofficially. 46-37, approaching 3 minutes to go.
I want to say that's almost a legal screen. You can see what Oldtree's holding the backs. I'm surprised the coach is already barking at the ref right now. I've seen it about 4 times where she's blocking the other side so that it's an open lane. But also as a defender, you've got to put yourself in a better position.
It's an off-balance shot by Z. Bailey. Somehow Fairfield able to come back up with the ball. Mills fires up a 3 from up top. It won't fall. Oldacre saves it for the Vikings.
Oh, wow.
Back and forth possession. Somehow Fairfield able to hang on, Frank. Things just getting a little too hectic for Fairfield right now. Oldacre with another deflection and steal. Nice pass on the left side on the cut in by Davis. She can't convert.
Still so many missed shots and bunnies on both sides.
Fairfield trails by 11, approaching the 2-minute mark in the contest. Substitution on the way for the Vikings. Braddix and her 3 fouls are going to check back in for the end of this game. She's been a major influence on the floor. There's the horn and there's the substitution. She's going to come in and take the place of Ashley Davis. 1:55, tick, tick, tick if you're an Indians fan.
Yep.
Ashley Thomas checks in to the game in place of Heinzman. And there's a Fairfield timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. Just their second they've called in the game. They trail by 11 with 1:55 to go. Well, we know they have the offense capable of doing it, but for whatever reason, the defensive adjustments Princeton have made here in the second half have just kept Fairfield from getting good looks at the bucket,
Right.
Frank.
I mean, it's just, you know, there's a couple times where there's been on big runs and I guess partly their defense was on that next level and Princeton's took it there. I mean, you can see it was a close game and Fairfield was winning until the middle of that third quarter and Princeton just took over.
Yeah. Well, lots to talk about, lots to dissect, and try to get things back going for Dave Loper and his Indian squad.
Oh, still a lot of bright spots. I hate to look at it as a loss, but, you know, 3 quarters they were winning, 2.5 quarters they were winning this game, and so they know they can do it.
Well, they were having success on the perimeter and underneath, and Princeton has been able to take both of those things away, to say the very least. 48-37. Vikings out in front, 1:55 to go. Fairfield ball underneath their own basket after the timeout. They inbound the ball successfully. Z. Bailey with the ball up top. Thinks about driving the paint. Is going to kick it back out. Big pass cross court. They're going to go up against Oldacre underneath. She just puts her arms up and deflects it. Mills able to come up with the ball for the Indians.
Taking too long here even to get a shot off.
Well, it looked like the play was to try to get underneath the basket. Oldacre prevented that. It's a 3-point shot, no good. Oldacre able to bounce it off an Indians player while she's in the air. It'll be Princeton ball underneath the Fairfield basket, 1:28. So a long 27 seconds was not really a great look at the basket for the Indians. There you see the shot by Reese was off the mark. Fairfield quickly back down. Z. Bailey well off the mark. Her 3-point attempt. Uncontested 3 and just pushed it to the left. 7 more seconds tick off.
All the timeouts happen here at the end, huh?
Yeah. It's like watching a college game. All the
Get all the
timeouts.
TV timeouts in.
Oh, yeah. All the timeouts come at the end. Jill Phillips wants to make sure her Vikings are able to hang on to this 11-point lead. Just 81 seconds remaining in the game. Good work by her floor camera there with a shot at both huddles. Timeout was taken by the Vikings. Guess the answer here continues to be deny the outside and deny the paint.
It's if you watch each quarter, it's a tale of 2 different games almost.
Fairfield seems to have had most of their luck shooting from the corner, not so much up top, and that's the looks they've been getting from the top of the 3-point arc. Princeton able to inbound no issue after the timeout. Now comes dribble, dribble, dribble. Spurn clock. Oldacre inside, can't get the shot to fall. Gets her own rebound, gets it on the second chance. 6 points unofficially for the freshman.
That was, I mean, she's had a presence underneath tonight. She might have been quiet on the points, but blocks-wise, she's, I want to say, if not double figures in blocks tonight, very close. And I want to say she does have them.
Well, she came into the game leading the GMC in blocks, and you can see why at a reported 6'5". Mills shot.
Add to that block.
Yeah, Mills shot swatted away again by Oldacre underneath. Very prescient timing by my partner, Frank Edwards. Approaching 30 seconds to go. Princeton firmly in control with a 13-point lead. Their goal here is simply not to turn this ball over and dribble away these remaining seconds. Valiant effort by the Indians, but excellent second half adjustments by Princeton proved to be the difference in this contest. We're under 15 seconds now, approaching 10.
You can see why they're undefeated. You know, they put on the noose.
That's just about going to do it. We're under 5 seconds now. 50-37. Princeton can just hold the ball. And that is your final. Princeton 50, Fairfield 37. That was a 15-7 Fairfield scoring advantage in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Cream rises to the top, as the old saying goes. Yeah. Princeton had a great second half.
For sure.
Any parting thoughts, Frank?
Just like you said, couldn't say it any better myself. They came out that second half, made all the adjustments, and really took it to them.
Princeton goes to 6-0 in the GMC, 11-0 overall. Fairfield will fall to 4-3 in the GMC, 7-4 overall. Appreciate you tuning in to High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports. For Josh Simsrott, my partner Frank Edwards, I'm Glenn Olson. So long, everybody. We'll see you next time on High School Hoops.